All right, let's not lie to ourselves. Fellas out there, we've all been on a date like this at least once in our lives. Come on. I was waiting for something like this. I was expecting some hilarity to ensue, and I actually LOL'd when I read this chapter. I know people say LOL, haha, so funny, but I actually legitimately laughed out loud while I was reading this because I scrolled to the page where it's just nothing but a giant monologue by Asa. And before I even read any of her dialogue, which might come into play in some weird story connective way, but really doesn't matter because what matters is the experience of what's happening on that page. And I just started laughing so hard because it really kind of goes Fujimoto is very good at writing teenage dialogue or like the mindset of a teenager or where you would be in that time because we've all gone on really awkward dates. Well, maybe not all of us, but if you can imagine, we've all gone on some kind of awkward date where the other person is doing what they think the person on the date is going to respond to, what they think the person is going to like, rather than finding out what the person is actually all about, what the person is into, what the person likes. They do the thing that they think the person is going to like, trying to draw attraction, but then it doesn't work. And so I love the idea that Asa thinks that if she memorizes and learns all of this thing about marine biology and starfish and all of the things at the aquarium where they're going to on their date, that if she basically deep dives into all of this awesome fun facts about all of these aquatic creatures, that he's going to find that really interesting and then be drawn to her and be attracted to her, which if you're on the other side, first of all, it's Denji, so we know way more about him as a person than anybody else, but we've been on the other side, where you're listening to somebody go on and on and on about something that you don't care about, and you're just kind of like, yeah, oh, that's amazing. That's fascinating. And they just keep going and going and going and don't stop. And you're like, I'd really rather go see some penguins. I like penguins. They're cute. They're fun. They flop on their belly and slide. Let's go. No. You got to listen to all these facts about starfish. And it's just like, I don't know. It made me laugh because I feel like, number one, I've been on that date before. Number two, because we know Denji doesn't give a shit at all because we know Denji and we know what he's all about. And then also the idea that Asa would think that this is something somebody would like because she's thinking maybe like what she would like or what she would want. And so she's doing the thing that she would enjoy or find interesting or find fascinating. And I love the little playful way that it was done and the playful way that it was written. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was fun. I thought it just reminded me of awkward teenage dates or even dates nowadays. I don't know. I enjoyed it and it was funny and it made me laugh. And I was expecting this whole chapter to just be stuff like that. I was expecting the whole chapter to be something funny, awkwardness, teenage awkwardness, Denji being a perv, all of these things, Asa being a dork, all of those things that the first half of the chapter was set up to be. I was expecting that to be the whole chapter, and I would have been satisfied with that. I would have had a fun laugh and a good time reading it, and I would have been good. But it goes even further than that, and we're starting to get into some sketchy shit, which just, first of all, giant reveal. The one girl comes up that we met before, who is one of the four horsemen that revived Yuko back a few chapters ago, and also was in the Devil Hunting Club with the guy who was posing as Chainsaw Man, that we saw the little trigger, the pull tab on his chest, which we know that he's obviously not Chainsaw Man, but something is going on with that. Also, the pull tab looks a lot like her earrings, so maybe her earrings, maybe when she gives them to someone, we didn't see it happen, but maybe she gave one to Yuko, and maybe that's what caused, her power, and maybe that's what causes this guy to imitate Chainsaw Man or something. But she straight up just shows up at the aquarium, introduces herself as the Famine Devil. So there, it's revealed. It just reveals out of nowhere, and I kind of like that. I kind of feel like not everything in storytelling needs to build and build and build into some gigantic reveal. Sometimes it's fun to just take a character to come out and just verbatimly tell you, hey, this is who I am. Sometimes that's awesome, and I think that it worked very well here. But the really interesting thing is that Yoru, the War Devil, was trying to tell Asa not to listen to her. And I thought that was really interesting because, would not Yoru... I mean, Yoru is obviously aware of who this character is, but there's some sort of disconnect there. There's some sort of animosity. There's some sort of let's not trust this person. Don't listen to her. There's something going on here. Even more confirmed when Fami, which I guess, or Fami, I don't know how we're going to pronounce it moving forward. Tell me now, because you know that I can't pronounce anything ever in manga until I hear it spoken. So just tell me how I should pronounce it. But Fami like disappears and takes Yuko with her. Like she disappears from Asa's consciousness. Asa sort of like manifests to be able to see the War Devil in front of her, and they talk back and forth, and they've been doing this for a while now, but she just goes. Like she's not in her head anymore. She can't visualize her. Like the Fami took her somewhere. And we don't get to see like what their connection is, what their relation is to one another when they were talking. We just see her show up and she does that. And then things get even weirder because Denji comes back and he says, I can't get out of here. And essentially what this reminded me of was when they were stuck in that hotel during the first part of Chainsaw Man that the anime covered a few weeks ago. They got to that segment where they were in that hotel, and every time they would go up to a different floor, it would be the same floor, and it was just this cycle. And now it seems like a similar thing is happening here with the aquarium, where the hallway is endless, and probably if you went that way, you know, you'd come back the other way, or you're just stuck in this endless hallway. And it seems like the Famine Devil is doing this. And there's a really interesting bit of dialogue where she says something along the lines of like, people are willing to do, really intense things when they're starving. And I didn't necessarily take this in the literal sense of starving from hunger, but they might be pushing the idea of famine even further, where it's something like starving for survival or starving to accomplish something, or like you're desperate for something, right? You're desperate, you're in despair, you're at your low, like when you really, really, really need something, like you're starving for it, not necessarily for food or for water or for substance like that, but like, I need to get this done, I have to accomplish this, I'm starving to make this happen. And the whole idea why Asa is doing this is to be able to make Denji fall for her so that she can use him as a weapon, right? And against Chainsaw Man, which is the irony, right? But now, if she can't do anything, if she's stuck here with Denji, you know, she's going to be more desperate to make that happen. So maybe that's the idea of starving. And where is Yuko? Where did the Famine Devil take her? I don't know. Now, I really thought that this was going to be the Death Devil, because it does mention that it's the older sister, so you'd think it would be the older primal fear. Also, it seemed like Yoru was able to kind of resurrect, but maybe it was that desperation, right? Maybe Famine is talking more about desperation than it is about actual hunger. So that could definitely be the case here. I really enjoyed this chapter. I really like where this is going. I like the humor. I was really waiting for the Denji Asa date. First of all, I've been thinking that Denji and Asa are going to like get together for real. I really do think that they will at some point. I think it's going to be a long, drawn out process, but I really do think they're going to get together at some point. And maybe this will be the first time in Denji's life where a woman doesn't try to murder him, even though she's probably going to try at first, but you know, then later on. And also, this might be the perfect opportunity for Asa to learn that he is actually Chainsaw Man, because they are trapped together. So in order to get out, he might be trying to use his ability in some way. Also, if Yoru is removed from the situation, and then Asa finds out that Denji is Chainsaw Man without Yoru being there, that could also add another element into the story. Now, I don't know if I forget how it works. I don't think that the War Devil would just automatically learn that information when she appears back, because she didn't. I mean, how? Well, you have to wonder how she disappeared, because like she's part of Asa. Like they're. So I don't know how it works, but I'm just saying that would enter into another interesting phase if Asa knew that about Denji, but the War Devil didn't. I don't know if that's possible, but that would be interesting. But now they have to escape. So now they're stuck here and they have to escape, and they're still on this really awkward date, and I really, really enjoy it. I'm loving part 2 of Chainsaw Man. So if you guys have read this chapter, let me know your thoughts, theories, comments, opinions down below in the comments. Be really curious to hear them. Let me know what you thought about it. And if you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and a comment, because interaction will help it be seen better in the algorithm. Also consider subscribing, because I do review all the chapters as they come out. I also review Berserk, Hunter x Hunter, Vinland Saga, One Punch Man, and a bunch of other manga. And help me get to that 100,000 subscriber goal if you can. But if not, that's okay. I still love you. Other than that, I'll talk to you next time.